Hi guys, welcome back to Vlogmas Day 10. I'm finally catching up on my videos. I'm sorry for the delay. Today's gonna be my 5 top books of 2024 and my 5 least favorite books of 2024. But I have like 7 or 8 of my favorites that I'm just gonna tell you about because I liked a lot of books this year. I read 50 books this year. I'm so proud of myself that I accomplished that goal. Technically, I read more, but there were some that I didn't finish. But if you counted all the ones I didn't finish, it's like 5 or 6 of them. So really, I read like 53 or 4 books, whatever. Okay, so here's my top 5, even though it's kind of like 7 or 8. The first book I want to talk about, I have it written in my notes because it's very important. I just want to get A Court of Mist and Fury out of the way because that book was amazing. I loved it. The only part I didn't love about it was that it kind of seemed like as soon as Feyre and Tamlin were married and they were like back at the place that they live and all this stuff, I don't fully remember everything, but bear with me. It just seems like it fizzled out like so quick. I mean, I guess it makes sense more on the end of the book if you read it, but I don't know, it's just too, I don't know, everything was just so sudden to me in the very beginning. So I got kind of confused. My goal was to finish the entire series in 2024, and now my goal is to finish at least the 3rd book by 2026. So that's my new goal. I really loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I loved that they made a show about it. I love reading the book and then watching the show, and I will say the show was pretty accurate to the book, which I always appreciate. This girl, Andy, was like murdered by her boyfriend, but Pip, the friend, was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if he was like the killer because he's like such a nice guy. And I just love that she was so brave and open-minded and just went through with interviewing people and talking to people and seeing if they had any involvement in it, if they knew anything. There were so many lies, so many people involved, and like I said, the show about it was really good too. That's Not My Name was a really good book. It was actually a book that we read in my book club with a couple of my girlfriends. Basically, a teen goes missing and another one is found on the side of the road, and Drew, the boyfriend of the missing teen, feels like it could be her. But basically, Drew is the boyfriend of the missing teen. He's hoping that the girl that was found on the side of the road is his girlfriend. And the ending was just so, it was like a tragically like beautiful story. It just honestly really pulled at my heartstring. The Inmate by Frida McFadden was phenomenal. I thought it was really great. I never knew when another twist was coming, and I just never predicted the outcome, like the full-on outcome of the book. I mean, at one point you think something's going on with this person, and then you think someone else is involved, and you just never fully knew what was gonna happen and who was involved and who wasn't involved, and I just loved all the twists and turns. And in the end, I was surprised. I mean, there was a big twist at the end. I'm gonna say The Gift by Frida McFadden. This is just a little bonus one. Read it. I think it's like 50 pages. It's so funny. You have to read it to understand it. I can't tell you anything because it is 50 pages. So if I say like one thing, I mean, I guess I could say the main character meets this lady, shaves her head. I'll just leave it there and you guys just have to read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited, I believe. First Light Wins was another book club book. That was one that I actually picked out for the book because I just kept seeing everything about it on TikTok, because it kind of reminded me of the show Catfish, but obviously they don't know that, so they're both playing like this different character, and I just really thought that was cool because by the description of the book it says Evie Porter doesn't exist, and I was like, what does that mean? Is she like from another realm? Is she a ghost? Like, I had no idea where they were taking it with that one, and that was a spin that I did not expect, so that got 5 stars from me. Never Lie, I'm just gonna say this, he was in the floorboards. That part, another just great one. People don't like it at all. That twist got me to love the book. I can't tell you the last time a book did that to me. That part, there's just like no words for it. I could not believe he was in the floorboards for all that time. So here are the books that I truly just did not enjoy this year. And there's more, but these are the ones that I was like, whoa. I'm gonna start with a book that pretty much everyone has heard of, is The Silent Patient. I was so disappointed in it. I was so bored. I almost did not finish it. And I try not to DNF books, but there are just some that I'm like, I can't even count it as like bad books of the year, but The Silent Patient, horrible. Just horrible. It just took forever to get to a point. Pumpkin Spice Cafe I really wanted to love, but honestly it just did not It didn't hit for me. It reminded me of Gilmore Girls and that small town feel, like everyone knows each other, which I really loved about the book, but I just didn't like longevity of the book. I just feel like it could have been done within like 100 pages. I was really bored. Cupcake Cottage pissed me off, and I actually feel really bad because I went on TikTok and I was trying to figure out, I read the entire book. I said, what does this book have to do with cupcakes? Why is it called Cupcake Cottage? She's not a baker. Like, what does it have to do with that? And someone made a TikTok about the book, and I didn't realize it was the author. And I commented, I said, I'm not understanding, why is this book called Cupcake Cottage? What does it have to do with cupcakes? And she replied back and was like, oh, like he calls her Cupcake or something like that. I was like, in my head, I didn't say this to her because I felt horrible after that, but it is the truth. It is the truth. I was like, the cover is her with cupcakes. Like, it just, as if she's a baker. I just felt like it was really misleading. I thought it was gonna be like a baker and a hockey player fall in love or whatever it was, and I was misled. I was misled. The Perfect Marriage, I felt like was very overhyped. I actually really wanted to read this book for a long time and I didn't, and I was so disappointed. I think I just can't do that. I wanted to read The Silent Patient for a long time and I waited a long time and I was disappointed. So I think I learned my lesson there. I just can't do that. It was just very predictable to me. It was her. She was the lawyer for him and it was her the whole time. It just honestly wasn't the best book for me. The worst book I read so far this year was Collateral. It was just way too much abuse, too much going on. I mean, it was awful. It was awful to read. And I feel bad because my friend recommended this book for book club. This was a book club book, but one of my friends didn't even finish it. Actually, I don't think two of them finished it. So long. I want to say it was like over 400 pages of just nonsense and abuse, and like the story just could have been written in such a shorter format and they didn't have to include all that abuse. I know they tried to make it like it's real life because it does really happen. I mean, these people are in the military, they go through a lot, and a lot of them do become abusive in some way, even just to themselves, but I just truly hated it. So that's it, guys. Those were my top, I don't know, 7 books and least 5 favorite books. My battery's dying and I'm starving, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.